On the day before Thanksgiving, 1971, a man in a business suit bought a one-way plane ticket under the name Dan Cooper, boarded a routine flight from Portland to Seattle, calmly handed a note to a flight attendant, and then did something no one in American aviation history has ever gotten away with, before or since. He hijacked the plane, collected $200,000 in cash, strapped it to his body, and jumped out of the back of a moving Boeing 727 into a storm at night over some of the most rugged, densely forested terrain in the entire Pacific Northwest. He was never seen again. Not his body, not his parachute, barely any of the money. Over 50 years and one of the largest manhunts in FBI history later, the case remains exactly what it was the moment he stepped out of that airplane, completely, maddeningly unsolved. At around 2:30 in the afternoon, on November 24, 1971, a calm, unremarkable-looking man boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, a Boeing 727 headed from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. A short, routine hop, scheduled to take barely 30 minutes. He'd purchased his ticket under the name Dan Cooper, paid cash, and settled quietly into seat 18C near the rear of the plane. Shortly after takeoff, he passed a note to a flight attendant, who initially assumed it was simply a businessman's phone number. It wasn't. The note stated plainly that he had a bomb in his briefcase and that she should sit next to him. When she did, he opened the case just enough to reveal a tangle of wires and cylinders, then calmly stated his demands: $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting on the tarmac in Seattle. What followed was, by every account, remarkably calm. Cooper was polite throughout. He ordered a bourbon and soda while the plane circled Seattle for nearly 2 hours, giving authorities time to gather his demands. The FBI, working with Northwest Orient's leadership, decided cooperation was safer than confrontation, and assembled exactly what he'd asked for: $200,000 in unmarked $20 bills, whose serial numbers were secretly photographed and recorded before delivery, and 4 military-style parachutes. Once the money and parachutes arrived, Cooper allowed all the passengers and most of the flight attendants to leave the aircraft. He kept the cockpit crew and 1 flight attendant aboard, and ordered the plane to take off again, this time toward Mexico City, flying low and slow, with the rear stairway of the aircraft lowered. Somewhere over the rugged, forested terrain of southwestern Washington state, in driving rain and near-freezing temperatures, at roughly 10,000 feet, Cooper did something almost no one believed was survivable. Wearing a business suit, a raincoat, and loafers, with the money strapped to his body, he walked down the aircraft's rear stairs and jumped. The remaining crew, still in the cockpit, felt the aircraft's tail pressure bump, indicating the stairs had been used. When the plane landed in Reno, Nevada, Cooper was gone, along with 2 of the 4 parachutes and the money. He had vanished into a stormy night over wilderness so remote that even a fully prepared skydiver would have faced serious odds against survival. Investigators and skydiving experts consulted afterward were split. Some believed the fall itself, combined with the terrain, weather, and Cooper's apparent inexperience, made his survival extremely unlikely. Others pointed out that no body and no confirmed parachute was ever recovered, an absence that on its own proves nothing at all. What followed was one of the largest, most sustained manhunts in FBI history, formally designated Case Norjack, for Northwest hijacking. Search teams combed the presumed jump zone, a remote stretch of forest near Ariel, Washington, close to Lake Merwin, for weeks, using ground teams, helicopters, and military personnel. They found nothing: no parachute, no remains, no money, no trace of Cooper at all. The FBI investigated and eliminated literally hundreds of possible suspects over the following decades. Men with the right general profile, criminal records, parachuting experience, or simply a passing physical resemblance to Cooper's composite sketch. Not one was ever definitively confirmed as the hijacker. For 9 years, the case produced almost no physical evidence at all. Then, in February 1980, an 8-year-old boy digging in the sand along the Columbia River at a spot called Tenna Bar, found a decaying package of cash, 3 bundles of $20 bills, weathered and partially disintegrated, totaling $5,800. The serial numbers matched Cooper's ransom money exactly. It remains to this day the only piece of physical evidence from the case ever conclusively recovered, and it only deepened the mystery. Tenna Bar sits well outside where investigators believed Cooper had actually landed, and how the money got there has never been definitively explained either. Which brings us to the case's most remarkable and most frustrating statistic. Over more than 4 decades of active investigation, the FBI formally investigated a documented list of over 800 individuals as possible suspects in the Cooper case. Numerous amateur researchers and journalists have proposed dozens more names publicly, several with considerable confidence and circumstantial detail. And yet, after all of it, 0 suspects have ever been formally charged. 0 have been definitively confirmed through DNA, fingerprints, or any other conclusive physical evidence to actually be Dan Cooper. In July 2016, after 45 years of active investigation, the FBI officially suspended the case. Not closed, but no longer being actively worked. D.B. Cooper, a media misprint of the original alias, Dan Cooper, that stuck permanently in public memory, remains the only unsolved case of air piracy in United States aviation history. No body has ever been found. No parachute beyond debated fragments some researchers claim to have located. No definitive confirmation of who he really was, where he came from, or ultimately, whether he actually survived the jump at all. Whoever Dan Cooper really was, he did something genuinely unprecedented. He hijacked a commercial airliner, extracted a real ransom, and vanished so completely and so cleanly that, more than half a century later, not a single government agency, private investigator, or amateur researcher has ever proven beyond doubt who he was, or what actually happened to him after he stepped out of that airplane into the storm and out of history.